Welcome to the Hot Pot Insights show. I'm Kunkit and I'm here to bring you the perspective and insights of extraordinary people in ordinary lives. A podcast for those who are looking to embark on a journey of discovery and growth. Our next guest is a business strategist and serial entrepreneur. He had pivoted from the army to being one of the top requested photographers in Singapore and went on to found businesses in various industries over the years. Since 2013, he has brought his expertise to helping his regional clients to scale their businesses. Even during COVID circuit breaker, he had created the Business Quotient, a Facebook group to share resources on business strategies and to help entrepreneurs out there to start to scale and to avoid pitfalls in their businesses. I'd like to introduce Benny Ong. Hi, Benny.
Hey guys, hope you guys are doing okay. Hello, Kunkit, how are you?
Hello, I'm good. I'm good. How about yourself?
Good, thanks for inviting me.
Great. Really glad to have you on the show. Maybe
Sure.
Can you share with us your journey? Maybe you can skim through most of the stuff. I think a lot of people can find you through your Facebook page, the Business Quotient as well. So maybe
Yeah.
your pivotal moments. I think you had shared across a lot of times on how you shifted from army to photographer to a serial entrepreneur.
Yeah, a quick one is it's that I started as an army full-time career. I mean, like that's really my full-time. I'm there for a solid 5.5 years. But you know what I'm really proud about is the pauses and time for me to think about who I want to be as well. I think that's really important. So that was what I did. You know, I decided to go slow, 5.5 years, figure out who I am. Came out, one of my proudest achievement as an entrepreneur as well. I was a wedding photographer. I fall in love with a passion and I make it into a business. Like most designer, you know, and people who are passionate in their field as well. So that was me, you know, contrary to popular belief as like some strategies and blah, blah, blah that people hear right now, right? Like I started off just really fall in love with camera, getting ready as well. And I decided to scale purely because, you know, you cannot scale in a wedding. I fall in love with wedding. And I remember clearly on my last wedding, I cried. No, when I was shooting a last wedding, I cried because it was a very endearing career. At the same time, I know that is not what I can do best to contribute to the society, to the world as well, right? But at the same time, I know that there's no way for me to even pivot. It's a dead career because um, when I hire people under me, people only want me. Does it make sense? Like they just don't want anybody else, right? And that whole business is really trapped in that circumstances as well. So when I took the shift, I started multiple business that all didn't eventually turn out well. So I have a whole base of businesses under my belt, right? I was massively taking on every opportunity possible till I land on the training industry, which I very much fall in love with as well. Satisfy my passion for coaching and teaching, right? And then moving forward, you know, things get a little bit better. And of course, that was like a 6-7 years ago story. Then everything else, you know, I started business coaching, I started training, and I believe in the power of practitioner as well. So I'm an entrepreneur today, full-time entrepreneur, right? And I believe that is the core strength of any entrepreneur should be as well. You know, as a practitioner, teaching practitioner works as well. That's me in short. Yeah.
Makes sense. So today, what are you most known for? As in, there is the I Quadrant. That's how I came to know about you and the group itself. So maybe can you share a bit more? Because I think you're more towards like the business strategy side.
Yeah. So I think as of this interview, I'm known for creating leading speakers and trainer in Southeast Asia perspective as well. So if you look at the whole market as a whole, right, there are many top speakers and trainer in Malaysia and in Singapore as well that I personally trained from ground up and created the whole entire industry. iQuadrant is one of them. So I personally train the main trainers and then become a partners as well. One of the leading real estate educational company in Singapore, in Malaysia as well. Faizu is personally trained by me. You know, they created one of the biggest property group right now, largest one in Southeast Asia, right? So I would say that is my core. That's what most people come and find me for. But as a true blood of any business owner, I feel that when they come and find me, they thought it's some magic formula and stuff, right? I think that's what people mostly think. But the truth is really about offer designing. How do you create offer that makes sense to the market that is undefeated? And number two, right, is to then understand about funnel building, business building, right? And how do you create a sustainable business? So actually, that's what I'm known for right now in the small sphere of influence. So I'm not a full public speaker. You know what I mean? I don't go out there to promote this skill. I do it in a very passive business consultation level. Yep.
All right. So I think along your journey, I believe that you would have faced a lot of difficulties or even potentially failures. Is there any specific failure or failures that maybe had set you up for a later success that you like?
Wow. I think first of all, right, not everybody is suitable to be an entrepreneur. You know, that was not my old thinking. That is my current thinking, because the success come quick, right? But the failure come faster. You know what I mean? Like when you fail, you really fail like exponentially. I'm talking about like really like multiple failures, and you just keep going on, right? And what I realized in this journey, number one, to begin with, is if you come in thinking that you have that magic formula, you know, like, oh man, like I mean, as we are speaking in this interview right now, like drop shipping might be a very big topic. You get it? Like Amazon might be a very big topic. You know, like all these e-com, right? But if you come in thinking that opportunistically you can find this like golden window to make money, right? You will fail extremely badly. You know what I mean? All I can say is this, right? So one of my biggest learning is that you gotta have solid fundamental in business. At the end of the day, no Facebook advertisement is going to save you for a bad offer, right? There's no Facebook advertisement. And marketing, right, is by and large just message amplified. So a lot of people think marketing is the cure. Marketing is not the cure. Marketing is the amplifier, right? That means you have a very bad business, right? Marketing is just going to blow you up to show people how bad it is, right? And that is the cunning reality of a business as well. I think this is huge to me, and a lot of people need to know this as well. Fundamentally, you cannot cheat time, right? You can make your business faster, you can work harder, right? But however, there's this experience bar that you have to really clock as an entrepreneur as well. And by saying that, it's not that you cannot be successful in 6 months or 1 year, right? But you just have to put on a very humble perspective that time is not your goal. You know, you're not here to have a short game as well. In fact, put on a longer trajectory, right? Pick a business where, for me, you know, after failing many businesses, right, I realized it's not opportunity. Is really ask yourself this, right? Can you be doing this business even though it doesn't pay you money? Like literally happy doing it, right? And if you can say yes to that, like a hobby that is cool, right? Then chances are you're more likely to be successful, because when you start off looking at an opportunistic point of view, you are measuring every move with money. Everything becomes transactional. And when you create a transactional business, this is where you do not have a sustainable business, to me, right? Because you are not going to put effort for your product. You're not going to put and go the extra mile for your clients and everything else as well. So for me, there's many learnings, but I think putting on the humble perspective whereby you cannot defy destiny, you know, you had to really go back to the root of what you're passionate about, which is very gross for me to say that, because to me, this sounds like some motivational bullshit, you know, like, oh, I'll do something you're passionate about, you know what I mean? And I used to be a guy that said, no, man, you know, if you want to work hard, you can get the result, and blah, 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 right? But at the end of the day, I realized, you know, what keeps me working 7 days a week while resting 7 days a week means that my life is so bland right now. That means whether it's work, whether it's business, it's just all blending every day, right? It's really to see, can you have this part of your business as part of you, then taking time off to build passive income. You get it, right? So I mean, there are many small business lessons that I can speak about later on throughout the interview, perhaps. But I think just as a whole, you know, come in knowing that you have to love what you're doing. Come in knowing that, you know, it's going to take time to get things done as well. And if you happen to be one of those folks like me in some of my businesses where you get lucky and successful real quick, just understand that, you know, when the foundation is not strong, you are not going to last and scale anyways. Yep.
Wow, that's a huge nugget to take away. Yeah, I think there's like a misconception is that anyone can be an entrepreneur or a business owner, or to be able to build a business without the context. And people don't see the success, the level of work that's put into any success story. That like maybe there's a 1% success story, but there's like the 99% who had tried and failed. Is that quite true?
The problem is this, you see, that there are too many people jumping into entrepreneurship because they are freaking lazy as hell, not disciplined. They are worthless in respecting hard work, time. They don't put passion in what they're doing, and they are just plain old not successful motivated folks, right? Who thinks that entrepreneurship is the way to go so that I don't have to report to a boss. You get my point here, right?
Yeah.
So the motivation is very distorted, thinking that you get freedom as an entrepreneur. In fact, right, you can say goodbye to freedom and you can say hello to flexibility, right? You have a lot of flexibility, you know, well, what time you work, what time you end work, blah, blah, blah. But however, there's no freedom. Like you really go into business, right, and be extremely accountable for all the actions. I've seen top players from all industry, you know, like really big players, right, quitting their career, right, coming to entrepreneurship. And they have way more success than people who are always failing career and coming to entrepreneurship. It's a very contradicting perspective, right? Because, oh, you might be a good employee. No, there is a correlation between a good employee and a good entrepreneur. Because today, right, when you are a business owner at my size right now, where we have like 30 staff under us in our company, you know, like, and I have more than a company having like 30 staff, and we have such level, right, you literally report to your staff, not your staff report to you. You report to your staff. Why do I say that? It's because they set the timing, you have to be there. You're tired or not, you have to show up. It's almost like a career because you're accountable for all the actions and what people do as well, right? And ultimately, most people fail, to me, in my personal humble experience and opinion, right, is that they come in with a very distorted understanding of hard work. You know, they think they're avoiding the real work and they thought entrepreneurship is the highest leverage, easiest move to make the most money while my money work for me and blah, 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 right? I mean, think about all the successful investors. As I speak to you right now, my portfolio in stocks, just in 2 months, within these 2 months, right, averagely grow at 40%, right? I grew at 40% within 2 months, right? But the level of work and research I do and my investor does, right, it's crazy. We are talking about a daily effort to get ourselves updated in the market, right? Knowing what are we investing as well. So even for investment as well, right, like there's no sitting on your laurels. It's really choosing a path that you feel that it is the most congruent living up to you as well. So in my opinion, if you fare very badly in a career, right, there's a high chance you will not be successful as an entrepreneur. So I think that's my perspective of this 99.1%, right? Because people jump in just because they are skiving and they want an easy way out. Yeah.
And I think there has been a huge hype in terms of entrepreneurship as well over the past few years.
Exactly. And that's a problem, right? I mean, like, every marketer out there who is marketing a program is marketing it as the easiest way out, the most leanest way out, the most predictable, the sit at home, do nothing and collect money and check, right? And then marketer spoils every industry. That's the truth, right? And that's a problem, right? Because I mean, who says that the farmer who farms 12 hours are very relaxed? I mean, you get it. Who says that the hardware guys, the tech guys, the app guys, have you heard before whereby like 5-6 people really leave their home, stay in a landed house just for the sake of spending 24 hours a day building their app and their business, right? That's how much they give up personal life to build a business, right? I'm not here talking about strategy yet. I'm not here talking about like probability and blah, 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 right? I mean, there's another question, another strategy, but just based on the fact that when you come into entrepreneurship, right, you're going to ask yourself, right, are you ready to be hardworking or not? And you know, oh, of course, by making 10x money, right? Of course I'm hard. No, it's not about that. It's not about money. It's that, are you willing to put on the same hustle as getting a career to be number one for promotion? I mean, it's just as simple as that, right? And let's not perverse entrepreneurship to be some easy, high leverage, simple way to make most money and don't work for other people, but work for yourself. I mean, that's my perspective.
Yeah, I've heard of friends who are in entrepreneurship as well. They at least they shifted to entrepreneurship. Is that being an employed, you maybe spend say 40 to 50 hours, if you plus, overtime. But being an entrepreneur, you're talking about at least 80 to 100 hours a week to really make things work, because you are, as you mentioned, accountable to everything. You're accountable to your business partner, accountable to your employees, paying your employees a salary and all this as well. So, yeah, so I get it. Yeah.
Exactly.
So along these ways, like, what are the resources that really help you so far?
What is a very broad question though? What are the resources that help me, right? I think that fundamentally, you cannot learn everything through experience. That's the biggest flaw in thinking. So a lot of people say, hey, experience is the most important thing when it comes to entrepreneurship, right? I say to a large extent, yes, but really not everything as well. I mean, technically, you couldn't learn tax planning through experience, you probably burn a lot of money tax planning, and then hire a good person to figure that out, right? So for me, there's many elements to entrepreneurship that I think is very important. However, right, I think basing on experience is the worst. You don't have to make the mistake someone else make as well. So what do I mean? Start from leveraging. So leverage on people's network, your network, right? Leverage on people's experience and their failure as well, right? Be humble enough to know that whatever business plan that you're thinking of, someone else has thought about it. You are not unique, and it's fine. But what makes you a winner is, can you execute it fast, hard, and flawless and crazy and keep improving? Every idea that you can think of right now, I'm sure someone else have think about it. You get it, right? So the execution is king in this whole picture, right? And on that perspective, if you are not unique, means that there are someone who had the experience, who are having the experience, who have the network, who have the insights, right, that you can learn from. That's the most humble thing that anybody should understand, right? And do not just go into it, right, and expect it to be you are unique, you're special, nobody understand you, you got to prove people wrong, right? Trust me, most of the time, when someone tell you off that it's not going to work, right, it really means that it's not going to work. And don't follow those motivational posters where they say, they prove them wrong, once I'm successful. No, you don't need to prove anybody wrong. This journey is not about proving, right? If someone will give you a feedback, take it in, take the slap to your face, you get it, right? And improve it, right? And that's about it. I mean, people are just giving you real advice, right? And to me, that's important. So start from acquiring knowledge, like a lot of knowledge from books, from mentors, from programs and classes, because I can assure you, if I combine my business mistakes for the last 7 years, just 7 years, right, I can boldly say I have accumulated more than $1 million worth of losses that could have been avoided. So my word is this, that am I making losses every year? No, but $1 million attribute to the last 7 years, which is like 100,000+ a year, I could have avoided those mistakes if I were to learn from someone else, right? And it might cost me money, but I'll invest in my future versus paying for those mistakes, right? And then end up still paying to learn anyways, right? So for me, that's the perspective as well. And also knowing that another point of view or the other spectrum of the point of view is that, don't go in and start spending money. Don't do that, right? Yes, get the knowledge, it's all cool, right? But go into business, right, by promoting your offer. Even though you have little margin or little profits, because profits is really not your first priority in business. Proof of concept is the first priority. Because even though, let's say, if I can sell, say, this watch, I will sell like this watch, right? If I can sell it for like $200 and it costs me $200, right? It doesn't matter, right? Because if I have large enough volume, I can obviously drive the watch cost down, yes? But the thing is, can I at least try to figure out if there's large enough volume, right? And more importantly, right, to start it cheap, right, there's so many ways, right? You can do it pre-order. You can do it drop shipping, but not drop shipping as a business, but drop shipping as a method for a product, right? So you're not incurring expenses. You can do it in a way whereby you are getting direct purchase on purchase. That means it's almost like dropshipping, but more like, you buy something at a cost, right? And it's expensive because you're buying a very low volume, but you're just selling it away at the same price to see if there's a market and what do you learn from the experience. Does it make sense? So the worst thing I did, right, was I spent gazillion dollars custom making 1,000 watches. And trying to sell the $1,000 watches, right? Knowing that the minimum order is only 500, but I was so extremely confident that I might sell 1,000 watches, right? That end up I realized that after 500 watch later, I could have taken the experience to launch another watch design. Does it make sense? Which is more suitable for the client profile, but I'm stuck with another 500 watch. It's crazy, right? So because I'm so focused in spending money. So the thing is this, you may say, no, that's not me. I'm smart. No. Because you can get so obsessed with your offer that you want it to be customized, unique, special, to your flavor, right? And you forget that ultimately it's not about profit or not about being unique. It's about proof of concept, right? So I say to a large part of the business world, which is very true, people talk about the minimum viable product. I call it a minimum viable offer, right? Anything that can get you to start something as fast as quick to go to the market to test should be your goal. Because testing and proving there is a market is your priority.
So as long there is attraction to it, then you scale.
Yes. Then you think about scaling, you think about profit, right? Then you think about profit, right? Because it's so easy to get profit. Guys, it's so easy to get profit. Why? Because anything with large enough scale, you can drop price, number one. Next.
Yep.
Number two, right? Anything with large enough attention, someone will buy over you, someone will pay you to get the attention, someone will need the audience that you're building to build their business as well. So money is not hard. Monetizing is really not hard when you have enough traction and attention and data, right? But proving that your offer is unique and it works and is linked directly to what consumer want, right? That is entrepreneurship. Yeah.
Is there a metric that you look at to whether to scale or to drop?
Well, no. I mean, because every industry is different, but I wouldn't want to give a it depends kind of answer. But so let me just give a quick tip. I hate it depends answer because it just never ends, right? It's to me, it's a dumb answer, right? So a quick tip would be very simple is that when you go into everything, right, you focus in scaling and ROI rather than expenses and revenue. So what do I mean? It means that you want to go in, right, and see marketing, right, as a form of ROI. And that's very important. So when you sell, it's ROI. Yes. So the idea is this, is that only when it's proven, you start scaling. And only when it stop working, you stop entire everything. That's all. It's as simple as that. So for example, right, you might be putting like $100 on Facebook to see if there's traction, and you realize there's traction, you learn something, right? You maybe get one client. Oh, that makes sense, right? Then you scale to $500 to based on your learning and improvement to see if you can get enough client. Well, with spending $500, you're still getting 5 clients, which is not bad. It means that you're scaling 5 times, you still get 5 times more customer, right? It's not too bad, right? Then what do you want to do, right? Then you start to spend $1,000 to see, right, what is the result. Then you spend $1,000, you get 8 customers. The cost per lead is higher now, but yet it still makes sense for your business, right? Oh, you're still profitable. Then you go 2,000. Then you go 5,000. Then you go 10,000, right? Then you go 15, right? You scale to understand the market and to see where's the market benchmark as well. And once it doesn't work, stop. It's as simple as that.
So it's always an incremental testing before scaling.
It's always, even though your result is incremental testing. At my business level right now, we spend close to $250,000 on Facebook every month, right? And do you think I spend $250,000 on day one? Oh, hell no. You get it, right? I started what? And I'm slow because I don't have a good mentor in the past, right? So I was stubborn, right? So say 7 years ago, I'm spending like 1,000 on Facebook, which when I had the result, I could have scaled way faster, yes? Of course, it took me 7 years later now that I'm spending like $250,000 on Facebook, right? But my point is, it's really about, I'm proud that I take my time as well, you know what I mean? Because I'm understanding the market, right? In my different businesses. But once again, once you have a proven business, just scale and see where's the limit. And that's how it goes, right? And to me, then the conversation is that where is the money after that, right? But can you get big enough volume of clients first?
Yeah. Wow. I think maybe we can pivot to, I think something that you had spoke about earlier during this interview is that you mentioned about, I think it's very in line with your mission. So I remember you mentioning your mission is there is no need to choose between clients, family time, and business success. So I think this is very much against like articles like back since 2016, like from Forbes and all this, like work-life balance versus work-life integration. I think for you, it's very much everything is jumbled up together. Everything is integration. Maybe can you shed more light on that?
Yeah, I think it's even beyond integration. It's just purely about what is your golden metrics in life. You know what? Among all the metrics that you hold on to, your values and everything, what is your golden metrics in life? So let me just put this perspective to you, right? So I want you to answer this question, right? Make a guess. To be the top 20% in Singapore in 2020 right now, how much money must you make? Top 20%.
Top 20, maybe.
You are the top 20 in Singapore. That means you are like not normal, yes? Top 20%.
Maybe
how much?
300K per year?
A year or a month? I mean, just
a year. 300K a year.
Yeah. So as I'm speaking right now, I'm going to Google this data for you, right? Because I want to be as accurate as possible, right? So I'm going to punch some number in, right? To give you a rough estimate, right? And I'm going to tell you this shocking number right now, right? It's so shocking. I don't think you will believe it, right? And the number is this, is that to be top 20% of Singaporean, right, who are making income, right, you only need to make 80K a year. What's my point? My point is, right, this whole bloody world, right, pins success as a very high accolade, high money income profile thing, right? And what I'm trying to say here is really very simple, right? That if you have a combined income in Singapore today, right, at 15,000 to 20,000 a year, right, a month, sorry, right, a combined income with your spouse, right, you are among the top 15% in Singapore. Yes, top 20%, right?
Yep.
And which means you are already not normal. You can probably afford a private condominium in Singapore. You can probably afford a car. You can probably have enough saving to retire with millions through investing, yes? And it's just as simple as that. So what's my point? My point is, people wear onto this crazy illusion of success, right? And they think they have to make 500,000, a million, 5 million a year, right? And they have to then sacrifice every bloody thing else to hit that goal, right? And on that perspective, right, when someone puts money as their top priority in life, they will screw themselves up because the whole life will be about compromise and sacrifice, yes? And that's why it is damn stupid, I'll just be very frank, right, for you to put money as top priority. To be honest, many years ago, I decided on a priority. My priority and my goal is very simple, is that if I ever hit 20K a month, right, I will not worry about income anymore, okay? And all my focus will be on impact, on what I want to do, and be on creating the business that is the proudest I can ever achieve in any industry that I'm in. So I'm not irrational to have zero income goal and just keep building, yes? Because I look at the market and I say, hey, to be honest, right, Benny, you need to learn how to be contented, right? If you're making 20K a month, you are already not normal, yes? You have enough saving to retire as a millionaire, right? You should focus on other priority, right? And my point to you is even simpler is this way, is that it's really not hard to build a business to have a profit of 200,000 a year. It's not the easiest, but it's not extreme, right? And at 200,000 profit a year, right, you are nowhere in Forbes under 40, 40 under 40. You're nowhere in like some billionaire, multi-millionaire list. You are just a common folks, yes or no? Right? You're just someone who exists and nobody cares about you. You don't live in the most top tier area in Singapore and everything else, right? So my point is this, is that if then you decide, right, number three, so now you know the every Singapore salary, right? Now you know an income, right, that you can be in and be way more than comfortable, and yet, you know what I mean, like you are really good, right? And yet it's not hard, right? The third perspective is this. Then if so, why the hell do you need to entertain people that you don't like? Does it make sense? So if so, why the hell do you need to entertain people that you don't like? So what if you entertain people that you don't like, right, and make another 100,000 more? It doesn't matter because you set a very clear income goal. Does it make sense?
Makes sense.
So that is the real perspective that I want to talk about in like integration and work-life balance. It's not about that. It's about setting an income goals to be pragmatic. Yes, it could be 10,000 for you. It could be 20. It could be 15. It could be 7,000. And by the way, if you make 8,000 a month, right, you are already better than the most employed salary worker in Singapore. Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, like doing what you love, having flexibility, and 8,000, you're already better than most Singaporeans, which is not too bad, right? Which is better than 60% of Singaporean, right? So my point to you is, then you don't give a shit anymore. Does it make sense? Then you just don't give a shit, right? You just focus on what you want to do. So you don't entertain people. So then if you decide not to entertain people, the beautiful part is then you don't need balanced integration because you're just being yourself, yes? And if you're just being yourself, there's no need to integrate or balance. You're just being yourself.
So I guess it's really defining your why, defining what drives you. Of course, money is a means to cater to, say, needs, but beyond a certain amount, it's already really your impact that you want to bring to either society or.
No, I want to even say is that fantastic, like how you share it. I mean, you share something very beautiful. I will share this is that what income, right, can you accept to make, right, and do what you love? That's all. That means, is it 8K, is it 10K, is it 15K a month, is it 20K a month? And be very practical about this because Because it could be as much as possible. Yes, I mean, like, the number doesn't end, but just set an amount that, hey, you know what, you can live and it doesn't matter anymore. Just set an income for yourself. Mine could be 20, 30K a month, like that's many years ago, right? I mean, like, yours could be like 50K, it could be 10K, it doesn't matter, right? Then number 2 is create a non-compromise set of rules for yourself. That you're not going to do what, you're not going to do what, you're not going to go through this unethical line, you're not going to just set all these bloody bars out there, right? And just follow them. And the last part I didn't share earlier was the beautiful part is once you decide not to entertain funny people, do business with funny orders and all this stuff, usually you have a bigger business than ever. Because you have such a congruent business, right? You have such a business you're passionate in that you actually put in more work. And your clients are all filtered because you no longer work with everybody else. You work with filtered clients that truly respect you and you respect them, right? And suddenly, right, you find yourself in a bigger business than ever by not compromising. Isn't that interesting?
It is.
So my point is, I started off saying so much about compromising, right? But the truth is, end up you never compromise and you still have a big business.
It's about
just
filtering.
Yes, but it's just how you decide to start. If you decide to put money as a start, you're gonna have a miserable life because you're gonna accept back clients that actually set you back. You're gonna accept a lot of bullshit that set you back. Yeah, but if you decide to set yourself as a priority, you will end up always with a better business. So end up, do you only make 20,000? You don't. You actually make a lot more. You get my point here. But because you have a more congruent business, your time effective use is even better, right? It's optimized because you only handle high quality clients, high quality leads, right? Yeah. So isn't that interesting? By deciding to not work with everyone, by deciding to be more focused, by deciding, right, to have a small business, you end up having a big business. So to me, that's how my perspective on my very long perspective on work-life balance. Yeah.
Wow. So I think maybe to dive a bit deeper in terms of having multiple businesses or pivoting, is there a chance that it could be a shiny object syndrome at a certain point?
Yes, certainly. But I'll give you another perspective before we talk about, whether are you suitable and all this stuff, right? I just want to say that, you have Richard Branson from Virgin, who have so many businesses that you cannot count. Yeah. And you have Steve Jobs, who have one business with multiple entities, but it's one business at the end of the day, right? And went very deep, right? So my take is, right, stop trying to decide and perverse something that is not you or like what the market is saying, right? I mean, there are people who have one business that do super duper well, right? And there are people who are like me, right, who just cannot sit still and I need at least 5 business on my belt to keep myself occupied and I love it. And once again, money is not my goal. You get it? Of course, people say, oh, well, you focus on one business, you can go much deeper and blah, 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 blah. I say, yeah, this is good for money, but I mean, there's this still at the end of the day, this level of what and who you want to be, right? And I think that's very important, right? So for me, right, I don't even care about the conversation that you just put to me. I mean, because to me, right, it's like, yes, it could be like better. It could be like, it could be like pivoting. It could be like, it doesn't matter, right? So be it, right? We have a life. We often look at business as such an objective thing and an objective, perfect standard we have to uplift to. It's like, oh, I shouldn't jump because it's a shiny object. I will look like I'm someone who are not focused. No, you don't care about how people look at you, right? And who is to say, right, you need to figure out what you want to do at your age. How do you know this is a shiny object or not? How do you know? You don't know. How do you know you won't learn something in a shiny object that pivots and change your business or give you another perspective of a new business that you finally settled out? Like, how do you know? Who knows? How do I know what I'm doing right now, right, is the last business? How do I know that? I mean, there's just no way I can ever know, right? So what's my point? My point is, let's not play God and make prediction about is this shiny object or should we focus on what? Just focus on the core thing in life, which is what makes you happy, what makes you get up and be excited, right? And that's about it, because I could die tomorrow. So when I die, I don't think about whether that is a shiny object or not, right? I think about whether do I try everything that I love to do or do I stick to my values that I really uphold. That's just about it, yes. So my very unorthodox view to this, right, is that, well, when I was very young, someone sell me a network marketing package, MLM, right? And I joined MLM, right? Is it the best business? No. Right? Is it scam? I don't think so. But is it not a business? Yes, it's not a business, but they keep selling it like a business, right? So I joined an MLM, right? But let me tell you this. From that experience, I learned so much about business, and I learned so much how it is not a business. And I learned so much about networking and building friends, right? That I met a solid group of friends that we all decided to quit and start our own businesses proper. So you tell me, is that good or bad? You tell me that move. Is that good or bad?
I guess there's always a silver lining in certain sense.
Yeah, you get my point, right? So how do you know there's no silver lining at the next shiny object? How do you know that? And the last thing you want, right, is to defy your gut feeling. We have gone to a perspective right now, right, that we need to live up to this arbitrary standard as an entrepreneur. We no longer trust our gut. And you have to build the entrepreneurship acumen by slowly trusting your gut feeling and making mistakes and making successes, so your gut feeling become very strong, your business acumen, right? And it takes you to be not just following general advice or blah, but it takes you to be really digesting every decision and reflecting, right, and get mature as we go along as well, right? So I have invested in stocks, and I'm thinking about going to Bitcoin and stuff, right? So will Bitcoin crash? Will it grow? I don't know. I know is that no matter what decision I make, I will make a learning or make a growth. And in the learning or growth, I will learn something that now becomes my archive of my gut feeling, and how my acumen is in life and in money, right? And I'm still young. I mean, I'm not even 60 years old. You get it, right? 50 years old, right? So, and who is to say 40 years old is old? 50 years old is old. You get my point? So your life is so long ahead. Then why do we need to stop ourselves from making mistakes as we go along? Are there dumb mistakes? Yes. But if you choose to make a very dumb move, then better learn from it, yes, and grow from it, right? And it's about failing fast, failing forward. Make sense? So you fail fast, then you fail forward. You want to just, okay, what do I learn? Okay, then don't give up in the journey, right? Because all I know is this, very simple, Kungkit. If you don't give up, you keep trying the next thing, and if you are hardcore enough to keep going in, right, the ROI will eventually appear. And you reach to that one project, that one business, that one idea, right? They'll make everything else make sense. The money will all come in. So this is my perspective on your question.
Yeah.
Or whether you choose one, choose many or not. Just really figure out who you are. I think that's most important. Yeah. And we have seen before a person with one business who are very successful and a person with 10 business who are very successful, right? So
that's true.
Who's right? Who's right? Nobody's right. It's just you, right?
Everyone is right in their own standards.
Exactly, right? So why we want to create arbitrary standards for people to follow, and then when they fail, they feel useless because they cannot own up to their mistake because they followed someone else's decision and not their gut feeling, and they learn nothing.
After this, there will be our last question before we go on to the quick firing question round.
Sure.
I think there was this article in Straits Times about 2 years ago. It's about your gate crash. I think you mentioned.
Wow, you managed to find it. Wow,
yes.
Okay, cool. Yes.
You mentioned that you would be interested in to be the nominated member of parliament, maybe in your later years. Yeah. So
Okay,
I think this is very in line with your path in education. So is this something that you're looking to go back into? I think into the public sector as well.
No. That was 2 years ago. See, I dare to put out comments, and if I make a mistake, I admit to it. That's just 2 years ago. Let me tell you why. Because it's very dark.
In what sense?
Political is very dark. Right? Whether you're in whatever position, right? It's just very dark. It's called office politics for a certain reason, right?
Yeah.
And as an entrepreneur right now, I feel that in my position today, I can do what I want to do. I can say what I want to say, right? And I pay for the consequences of my business, right? And I'm in full control. And I don't have to live in a subset of certain agenda that doesn't live up to my, who I want to be as well, right? And I think this is the best way to represent my voice as a business owner, as a personality. So I would rather be a YouTube celebrity, a YouTuber, than a politician in 2020 when this conversation is happening right now, right? So this is my new perspective, because I can control my own audience, I can control my own content, right? And I feel that is what I can get, versus being in politics, right, where I am being politicking around, you get it, right? And I just think that is no longer what I'm excited about anymore.
All right. I think previously you also mentioned that you are looking to build up your YouTube channel. Like, is this ready or is it in the works?
It's just procrastination. I mean, it's straight up, right? It's just procrastination because, of course, there's COVID and there's many things happen in business and all. I have created 40 over videos. I'm born to do videos. I can do 40 videos in a day, you get it, right? And I recorded, it's edited, right? I post them on Facebook. Right now I'm very active on Facebook with the short form videos. Facebook seems to be a platform that I can work very well in because I like to do Facebook Live also. So it's straight away recorded and then published, right? So for me, it's such an easy form, right? So when it comes to YouTube, you have to respect the platform. This curated content is being very intentional with every sentence that you say so that it's very concise, big learning, right? So will I get there one day? I will. I think it's still one of my goals, right? But as of right now, the procrastination is real, as in like I'd rather be doing this, like any day than sitting down and do a YouTube video. It's just something about me that I need to overcome, and it's something that I'm very aware of. But I do believe that I'll be doing YouTube, and in fact, right, I'm launching a podcast series with a very famous YouTuber in Singapore in the finance world. I don't want to mention him, right? So it's in the finance world as well. I'll be launching with him as well. Nice. And I'll be launching another YouTube series, another podcast, right, with someone else who is in the business world, right, which is very big in the business world, handling celebrity. And for me, I find that there's a reason why I have business partner because I'm just more accountable when I have people to answer to. I mean, it's just how I work, right? So when I am working with this big finance YouTuber, right, I got no choice but to subject myself to making things happen. So I follow that flow, lor. So rather than forcing myself to start a YouTube channel, which I haven't get a groove, right? So my next best call was to start these 2 podcast series, right, and at least get something out and then see where it goes. Yep.
Nice. All right. Going on to our quick fire questions. The question can be short, but your answer can be either short or long, really up to you. So for the first one, is there a favorite word of yours?
Leverage.
Nice. What's the favorite part of your day?
Meetings.
Go to comfort food.
Wow. Carrot cake.
Wow. Black or white?
Black.
All right. So usually you do have your keropok hair. Like, how long do you take to get it ready?
So on the recent months, right, I've changed my hairstyle to like some side parting now, as you can see, right, because it's so hard to maintain, right? But to be honest, this is even worse to maintain because side parting and all that. I mean, like, whatever, right? But honestly, my hairstyle, my back comb hairstyle took me like honestly 10 minutes max to get it done. So I'm in a mastery level. I've clocked my 10,000 hours. So it's damn fast for my hair to do it.
All right. So one universal skill or habit for budding entrepreneurs to learn.
Selling.
If you could have dinner with any 3 people, either dead or alive, who will it be and why?
Wow. I'll have dinner with Jay Abraham. Jay Abraham is the marketing genius, right? And I've been under his mentorship before. I think there's so much to ask and then to learn from as well. So he's one man I will probably have a dinner with. Number 2, I cannot think of someone off my mind right now, but probably will be a philosopher, or any one of the late philosopher as well, because I think at the end of the day, fundamentally, philosophy is a very deep topic that drives entrepreneurship as well. So to me, I have a deep interest in philosophy. Probably in the Chinese form will be Lao Tzu, right? Will be Lao Tzu as well for Roman and all. I cannot name of someone on the spot, right? But I would say it's Lao Tzu right now. Number 2, number 3 would be. Oh shit! I only got 3 votes, so I need to think carefully. I would be meeting Lee Kuan Yew. Yeah, yes, because he's an inspirational character. He have his own way of doing things with iron fist as well. But I think there's so much to learn from him, from building the entire Singapore, along with the whole team, right? I think he's going to be someone that I can get so much words of wisdom with. Yep.
Wow, those 3 are very big names in some sense.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Where can the audience find you on top of the Business Quotient?
Well, if you search the Benny Ong on Facebook, you probably see a lot of my content out there on my Facebook page. More to come in the next few months as well. Once in a while, when I'm not busy, when I'm not busy with my business, I then go into content building phase. Like what happened in COVID, I was like going back doing a lot more content. Then I take a pause and then doing that, right? So most of the videos we published on Facebook. But I can say again, I think the general handle will be the Benny Ong. Even if it's on YouTube soon, it will be that case as well. So just Google the Benny Ong, and it will appear. Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you, Benny, for your time today.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Hey, thank you for listening to my interview with Benny. Here are my takeaways. 1. Be humble. You are not unique and it's fine. Someone would have thought of whatever business plan you might have thought of. It is how can you do it faster, cheaper, and or better. 2. To achieve financial success, you do not need to have to sacrifice relationship, health, and any other areas of your life. 3. Do not stop trying. Always test, fail fast. Do let me know your takeaways from this hot pot mix of insights. Cheers!